Again, we're very different because when I started it for my hip issue and learned how we were hurting ourselves with sugar, I knew right away I was never going to go back to sugar because to me it's not logical. Why would I hurt me? I love me. So like there's just like to me that's just not logical. But did I think that I would have gotten as low as I've gotten, like to go sometimes days without having any carbs at all? I didn't think that that was, I didn't envision that, but like I've done it a bunch of times. That's how my mind works. Violet does not purposefully ever hurt Violet.
Hello everyone, welcome to Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. The reason I make these videos is to help people understand that your mental health and physical health come together to create your overall sense of well-being. If you find this kind of video interesting, please consider subscribing. The reason that I'm making this video is because I remembered having that big idea at the end of my other video, and I thought that's too much of an important idea for me to leave it at the end of a video, because I know what my YouTube analytics look like, and I know that non-wellness warriors don't always make it to the end of my videos. So I'm making a video around the idea of I encourage every person to think like me. Never hurt yourself, ever. Like, be steadfast in the idea that you would never knowingly do something that hurts yourself. In that video, I was talking about the fact that I had learned that the inflammation that was happening in my hip was being caused by eating carbohydrates. And as soon as I knew that piece of information, it wasn't even a question marks, carbs, gone. And I went forward in verifying and making sure that that was true, first of all, that carbs were causing it. But then, like, as soon as it was confirmed, going forward to find out how do I do that? And I embarked on the process of eliminating carbohydrates from my life. This is coming from the person who, at that period of time, was so addicted to chocolate, it was unreal. But knowing that piece of information and seeing how my hip was feeling, I was willing to make that step to say, okay, it's gone. One of the things that I believe is that I'm important. First of all, I'm important to me. I'm the most important person to me that exists, right? Because I'm me. But second of all, I'm important to my daughter. I want to be there to help her with everything and anything that she will ever need me to help her with. That's number one. But I also want to be there to witness all the accomplishments that she's going to have in her life going forward. In order for me to do that, I have to be around, right? And I want to be around in a way that I'm involved. It means I need to be healthy. Now, there's all the other people in my life who care about me and also want me to be around. So now I'm talking about my parents, I'm talking about my friends, I'm talking about my siblings, I'm talking about all the wellness warriors that watch these videos. I'm talking about all the people that I work with. I'm talking about all the people that engage with me on a regular basis who choose to be in my presence. If something were to happen to me, if I were to pass, I believe that you guys would miss me. For that reason, I prioritize being good to me and doing things that help me to stick around. Now, this doesn't even address the fact that I want to be healthy enough to do whatever I feel like doing. I want my body to function in the way that allows me to do the activities that I love to do. That means I want to be able, well into my future, to be able to continue to snowboard, longboard, ski, snowblade, ride my bike, ride my scooter, run around with my daughter outside, play with my niece and nephew outside, like do all the fun things that we do on a regular basis. You know, it's amazing to me how my life has changed in the last year and a half. I would say from age 20 to 45, I was pretty much surviving. Don't get me wrong, I did a lot of activities, but in terms of actually being able to use my body in a healthy way, I started to have issues with my knees in my 20s. Of course, I assumed it was because of activities, because I've always done activities. My back kicked in somewhere in my later 20s. You know, in my 30s, I played a lot of badminton, so elbow was hurting me. My neck, my daughter was 6 years old when my neck issues started to happen. where I couldn't turn my head full range. So I've always, from 20, I shouldn't say always, from 20 to 45, I had a lot of physiological inflammation issues happening. At the time, I didn't recognize that they were inflammation issues. Now I do. I was starting to feel like I was getting arthritis right around 45. And that's when my hip issue hit me at 45. On top of all of that, I will say now, again, not knowing today, I will say that I was not feeding myself well, right? Eating lots of carbs, lots of processed foods, which that I did know was not good, but I was doing it. I was eating lots of processed foods, lots of carbs, and I wasn't sleeping enough, like near enough at all. So I was getting maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night. So not sleeping anywhere near enough. Basically, I was pushing my body really, really hard and not giving it a chance to rebuild or to rest. I actually recall telling someone at one point that I wanted to like get every ounce of energy out of my body that I could before I passed away. That was kind of the mindset I had, is like, I gotta drain it before it stops working. And I do think part of the reason for that was because I'd watched through my life grandparents, uncles, everyone deteriorating, right? And in my mind, it was inevitable. So let me just get everything I can out of this body before it fails me, because that's what's going to happen. I didn't realize that I was failing my body by not eating well and sleeping enough. Although I knew the processed foods were not good, I didn't realize that the other foods that I were eating when I was eating well wasn't eating well. The other thing that I will say is that I really did believe that all the exercise that I was doing, so all the activities that I was doing, was enough to keep my body healthy. Because remember, at every moment that I could be out doing something, I was doing something. I'm not a gym rat. I was not interested in pumping weights. I wanted to be active, and I really felt that that was going to be the way to keep my body healthy. So what have I learned? Actually, what I did learn is that the best way to keep your body healthy is to eat well, get enough sleep. It surprised the heck out of me that by changing my food, so eating a ketogenic diet and getting enough sleep, 6 to 8 hours is what I aim at now, I was completely able to change the way that my body looks and feels. And I say looks, but at the beginning, so it took about, I think, a month and a half, my hip issue was gone and many other physiological issues gone. I was still overweight. Changing my food changed the way that my body felt almost, well, I feels like almost immediately. It took a few weeks, right? Eventually, it changed the way my body looked. But that's not the amazing part, because I don't care about how my body looks. And like, I was not unhappy with myself before I lost the weight, and I'm fine with myself today. What I was the most impressed about was how well I was able to do all the activities that I love to do. You know, this year, so this is summer number 2 with the ketogenic lifestyle. When I took my longboard out the first time, so this summer, and I went for a ride, I was not tired. I came back home, I was not tired. Usually that first ride kills me. The fact that I can take my daughter to do an activity and then the very next day go back out with her and do a different activity or the same activity. We could do multiple days in a row and I feel good. The fact that this year when we went to Arbraska, we had energy to do it compared to all the different... My daughter and I have been going to Arbraska. Oh, by the way, Arbraska is a place where you go and you do like tree-to-tree activities. And we've been going since she was 4 years old. In the years past, when we would go, I would be exhausted by the end of the day. Like to the point where the next day it's like, I need to sleep. Versus this year we went, it was so easy. It was like nothing. The next day we did something else. I think what amazes me is that I really thought exercise, so I thought exercise was going to be the thing that makes me healthy, that kept me thin, that kept me able to do my life the way I want to do. And what I realize now is that, yes, exercise is involved, but it's not in the way that I thought. Food is first. I can't say that. Food is first. If you take away anything from this video, understand food is first. Exercise is secondary. So it's important because exercise helps you to be strong. Exercise helps you to be flexible. Exercise aids in longevity. But exercise isn't the first and foremost of weight loss. It's food. Eating 7 grams of carbs or less in a day means that my body can manage those carbohydrates, which means that my insulin levels stay where they're supposed to stay. They stay at a moderate level, which means that my body can go forward and build muscle. It can recycle any cells it needs to. My body can heal itself. My body can do all the things it needs to do for me to feel healthy, that I don't have excess inflammation, that I'm not retaining water, that I'm not doing all the things that help me to feel horrible after doing the smallest of small activities with my daughter. When you understand that information, that eating a low carb lifestyle, allowing yourself to have moderate protein and moderate fat will help your body to feel better. What you also get from that is the ability to go forward, live life, and be happy. What you really need to ask yourself is, what's your goal for yourself? Are we trying to be thin, or are we trying to be healthy? If I'm healthy, but a few pounds overweight, and my body is able to do metabolically everything it's supposed to do, and I'm fueling myself with good quality foods, long term, I'm going to feel better. If I'm thin, but I'm not eating well, I'm giving myself poor quality building blocks, long term, I'm not going to feel great. So how are you building your body for the next 7 years? This is important for you to think about. If you build it well, you're going to feel better. Eat whole foods that are good quality with low carbohydrates, 20 grams or less per day. If you do that on a regular basis, you will feel better. I can remember so many times saying no to activities because I had done something the day before and I was aching from pain in my joints and everywhere because I didn't have the energy and I was so sore I couldn't go and do another activity. My daughter would either do it with someone else or have to miss because mommy couldn't go. And you know, I look back on that and I'm not happy about it. I remember we went on vacation to Disneyland, and our ability to do all the things was diminished because of my ability to keep up, right? And I mean, luckily she was very young and she still had a good time, but how much more fun could we have had if I could have kept up with her, right? And not because of fatigue, but because of sore knees, sore shoulders, sore elbow, like sore back. Like, it's sad to think that because I couldn't walk for so long because my back would hurt, that we couldn't do as many things as we might have been able to do. And trust me, we did a lot because I did push myself. But wow, you know, like every morning did I feel it. It's great to be able to get up every morning and do fun things now and not feel bad. Actually, to feel encouraged, enthusiastic about doing what I'm about to go do. We really do need to understand that how you feel your body matters. So when it comes to carbohydrates, what we don't know can actually hurt us. Understand the information. Understand what carbohydrates do. They raise your insulin. When your insulin is high, we store fat. That's what happens. I want to thank all my wellness warriors for coming by. As usual, love talking to you guys. Everyone else who's new, please consider subscribing. And I also want to let everyone know, since you've made it to the end of the video, that there is a Patreon account. If you'd like to contribute to the production of some of these videos, it would really help. You can go to Patreon/Violet Rivera. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.